The storm had already begun when Sergeant Daniel Reeves received the emergency signal. Dark clouds covered the Pacific Ocean, and the waves crashed violently against the steel body of the naval rescue ship. Daniel, a battle-tested American naval sergeant, stood silently on deck, staring into the distance. He had spent nearly 12 years serving dangerous missions at sea, rescuing civilians, fighting pirates, and surviving enemy ambushes, but tonight felt different. The radio operator rushed toward him with panic in his eyes. "Sergeant Reeves!" the operator shouted. "We just received a distress signal. A Navy intelligence vessel disappeared near enemy-controlled waters. Survivors may still be alive." Daniel immediately gathered his rescue team. Without wasting a second, he ordered the engines to full speed. Lightning flashed across the sky as the ship moved through giant waves. Everyone knew the mission was dangerous. Enemy militants controlled parts of the coastline, and many ships never returned from those waters. But Daniel had one rule: no American gets left behind. After nearly 2 hours at sea, the team spotted burning wreckage floating in the ocean. Pieces of metal drifted between crashing waves. Suddenly, one soldier shouted, "Movement at 11 o'clock!" Daniel grabbed his binoculars and saw 3 sailors holding on to broken debris. Without hesitation, he jumped into the freezing water with 2 rescue divers. The waves slammed against them as they fought to reach the survivors. One sailor was badly injured and barely conscious. Daniel pulled him onto a rescue raft, while bullets suddenly echoed from the shoreline. Enemy fighters had spotted them. Water splashed around them as gunfire came dangerously close. "Move! Move now!" Daniel yelled. The team rushed back toward the rescue ship, but before they could leave, Daniel heard something that stopped him: a weak child's voice crying for help. Everyone froze. "A child?" one sailor whispered. Daniel turned toward the wreckage and saw a small life vest drifting between broken metal. Somehow, a young boy, son of one of the Navy engineers, had survived the explosion. The storm was pulling him farther into dangerous waters. "We don't have time," one teammate warned. "Enemy boats are approaching." But Daniel ignored the fear. "No child gets left behind," he said firmly. Without thinking twice, he dove back into the violent ocean alone. Lightning lit up the sky as enemy boats moved closer. Waves nearly swallowed him, but he kept swimming. Finally, he reached the terrified boy and held him tightly. "You're safe now, buddy," Daniel said. A huge wave crashed into them, dragging them underwater. For several terrifying seconds, no one could see them. The team watched helplessly from the ship. Then suddenly, Daniel emerged from the water, holding the boy above his head. Cheers exploded across the deck. The rescue team pulled them aboard just as enemy boats opened fire. The naval ship accelerated through the storm, while Daniel sat exhausted against the wall, soaked and bleeding from cuts on his arms. The little boy hugged him tightly without saying a word. Weeks later, back in America, the story spread across military news. Sergeant Daniel Reeves was honored for extraordinary bravery after saving multiple Navy personnel and risking his own life for a child during enemy fire.